Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a really special video. I'm going to go through the entirety of my DVD and Blu-ray collection. If you watched my Amazon Blu-ray DVD haul, you'll know that I talked about wanting to do this video, and I'm really excited to get started. So the first section that I'm going to go through is all of my Disney DVDs. If you know me, you know I am a huge Disney fan. Surprisingly, I don't have as many as you might expect, but I do have a decent amount of Disney DVDs. First off is the one that started them all, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's a two-disc DVD. It's a really nice set. It has great special features. This is a lovely film. It's still one of the greatest Disney movies ever made, in my humble opinion. Next up we have Pinocchio. It's the 70th anniversary of the movie. This is another wonderful, wonderful movie. I know some people find themselves traumatized by it, but I think I was a pretty tough kid because even though it was really dark, I was always moved by this movie and found it very poignant. I love this movie. I think it's one of Walt Disney's greatest achievements. This is a really nice DVD set. Next up is another favorite of mine. It's Bambi. It's a two-disc special edition DVD. As you can see, it has a new digital restoration. It's a very, very good print of it. This is a beautiful movie, in my opinion. I love Bambi because I'm a big nature person. Next, we have Cinderella. Cinderella is tied for my favorite Disney princess because she's so resilient and kind. I love the Cinderella movie. It's such a sweet, sweet film. Next we have Alice in Wonderland. It's another favorite. What's nice about this one, this has a special memory because I actually won this DVD in a special contest. It's one of the very few things I've ever won in my life. I love Alice in Wonderland. It's so zany and fun. Next we have Peter Pan. Peter Pan's another classic that I love. I love the music. I love the characters, especially Tinkerbell. It's just such a fun movie, especially the You Can Fly scene. Next we have Lady and the Tramp. It's another favorite. This is the 50th anniversary DVD edition. I love Lady and the Tramp. It's probably my favorite Disney movie with animals. It's one of my favorite animated movies. It's just such a sweet movie. It's not just because I'm Italian and I love dogs, but that's a big part of it. I love Lady and the Tramp. Next we have the 50th anniversary Sleeping Beauty edition. This is probably, in my opinion, Disney's most beautiful animated movie. Every scene is like a work of art, and it's a painting, like a painting, because Ivan Earl's backgrounds are absolutely gorgeous. You can see the special features actually have two different versions of the film, which is interesting. An expanded version that's a little bit wider. It's really interesting. Next, we have, because Sleeping Beauty is one of my all-time favorites, I have the Blu-ray edition of the film as well. I haven't upgraded to that many Blu-rays of the animated movies yet. I hope to do more, but Sleeping Beauty is one I knew I definitely had to have. Next we have Robin Hood. This is a really underrated movie in my opinion. I think it's really, really funny. It's probably my favorite of this era. Next we have The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I think it's cute because it says it's called the Friendship Edition. This is such a sweet movie. I love the Winnie the Pooh characters and stories. I think they're adorable. Next we have a different one. We have DuckTales, the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp. If you are an 80s or 90s kid, you probably know this movie. If you're not, you might not be familiar with it, but it's such a fun movie. It's Scrooge McDuck's first full-length animated feature film. I believe I got this as a Disney Movie Club exclusive, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how I got this. So this might be kind of a rare DVD, but I'm really happy I have it because I love DuckTales. Next we have the DVD of The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is still, along with Beauty and the Beast, my favorite Disney animated movie. It was my favorite film as a child. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen when it came out, and I still feel that way. I think it's just such a sweet story, and I love the music. Next we have the Blu-ray of The Little Mermaid. If it was going to be my favorite, of course I was going to get the Blu-ray edition of this. I'm very happy I have a Blu-ray of it because it looks gorgeous. Next we have my other favorite Disney animated movie. I don't have the Blu-ray yet, but I'm happy I have this DVD edition of Beauty and the Beast. It has a great documentary on the film. If you've never watched it, I recommend trying to find this edition because the documentary about the making of the movie is really, really touching, especially in regards to the late Howard Ashman. Next we have Aladdin, another favorite of the Renaissance era. Aladdin is hilarious and such a special movie because the music and the characters were one of my favorites growing up, and I still love it. Next we have Pocahontas. Pocahontas is kind of a divisive movie, but it's a movie that I love because of the themes about nature and tolerance, and I love the music. Next we have a Blu-ray of The Princess and the Frog. This is a really cute movie. I have yet to ride the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland, but I can't wait because I think these characters are so much fun. Next, another all-time favorite. I have a Blu-ray of Tangled. Tangled's another very special movie because I got to do interviews actually with the cast and some of the crew, including Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi, who voiced Rapunzel and Flynn, and then Glen Keane, who's one of the lead animators, and he was actually set to be the director of the movie, but he is the lead animator of Rapunzel. He also animated Ariel and Tarzan and Pocahontas and the Beast, and he's an amazing person, and I have the interview with him actually on my channel, and I will put a link to that in the description, so please check that out. Next we have a Blu-ray of Frozen. Frozen is another favorite. I think it's a sweet movie. I love the story about sisters. I do not have Frozen 2 yet, and I still prefer the original Frozen movie, especially with regards to the music. So that's all my Disney animated movies. Next we have a few Pixar movies. I have the original Toy Story. If you grew up when this came out, you'll remember how amazing it was to see this movie. It's such a remarkable feat at the time, and it still remains one of Pixar's greatest. Next we have Toy Story 2, this is actually my favorite of the Toy Story films. I think it's funny, probably one of the best sequels ever made. Next is Monsters, Inc. This is actually my favorite Pixar movie because I love Mike Wazowski and Sully and Boo, and I think the story is very sweet and funny. And it's always been my favorite, and I think it probably always will be my favorite. Next is actually the last Pixar movie I own. It's Finding Nemo. It's probably my third favorite Pixar movie. I think it's really beautiful, especially all the underwater scenes, and I love the characters, and the storyline is very touching. My last animated movie that I own is actually, believe it or not, Frankenweenie. I did an article on this years ago and received this as a gift. So it's actually a very cute movie if you haven't seen it. I recommend checking it out. Next up, I have some Disney live-action movies, starting with the classic ones. First, we have Pollyanna. This is a beautiful, heartwarming movie that I absolutely love. I've loved it since I was a little kid. It's such a special, touching story. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend getting it, especially if you can find it. Find the DVD of this because the special features are great. It says Pollyanna Making of a Masterpiece, which is a wonderful documentary. And there's also an audio commentary with the director David Swift and the star Haley Mills, who was just extraordinary in this as a young kid. It's very sweet and heartwarming and funny, and I love this movie. Next up, probably my favorite besides Pollyanna in the Haley Mills Disney movies is The Parent Trap. Now, a lot of people know the Lindsay Lohan version more, but in my opinion, the original is still the best one. It's much funnier. I think the acting is better. The directing is better. Now, the remake is good, but this original one is just much more natural in its humor. And like Pollyanna, it has an audio commentary with David Swift, the director, and Haley Mills. So this is why I recommend trying to find this DVD. Next up, I have another DVD of The Parent Trap. Now, I got this one because it comes with The Parent Trap 2. The Parent Trap 2 is a sequel that they made on the Disney Channel in the 1980s. And I used to have a tape recording of it on VHS, and I would watch it kind of over and over again because it was just a funny movie. And you can see there's the little kids. And it's actually a really sweet movie in that all the names of the characters are homages to the characters that Haley Mills played in all of her other movies for Disney. So her daughter is named Nikki Ferris, which is the character that she plays in The Moon Spinners. And her friend is called Mary Grand, which is a takeoff of Mary Grant from In Search of the Castaways. And Haley Mills' boss in the movie is called Mr. Elias, which is a sort of a special nod to Walt Disney because his middle name is Elias. Next up we have Summer Magic. This movie is adorable and really cute. I especially love Burl Ives in it because he reminds me of my grandfather, especially when he's singing on the front porch. This is just one of those sweet little movies that I really recommend checking out, especially if you love movies set at the turn of the century. Next up, speaking of The Moon Spinners, we have that DVD. I love this movie. I call it kind of Alfred Hitchcock light because it's like a family version of a Hitchcock movie. It is a really wonderful movie, much more serious as far as Haley Mills movies, but I love it. And it also stars Eli Wallach in a really good villain role. And Peter McAnery, which a lot of people don't know, but he's really a handsome British actor. Next we have In Search of the Castaways, which has Haley Mills and Marie Chevalier. I actually haven't seen this one in a really long time. I think I'm due for a rewatch, but it is a really good movie, and I know I love it. Next is Haley Mills' last movie that she made for Disney, That Darn Cat. This movie is hilarious. It is one of the best ones of that era. It has Haley Mills, Dean Jones, Dorothy Provine, Roddy McDowell, and it is funny, but also has, a proper amount of serious and gravitas because it is about a woman who's been kidnapped. But it has a lot of humor, and I think it's really funny. Next up is another favorite, Swiss Family Robinson. This is another one that I had recorded and on a tape growing up, and I watched it quite a lot. And it's just such a heartfelt adventure movie. It has John Mills, Dorothy McGuire, James MacArthur, Tommy Kirk, and Kevin Corcoran. And it is a wonderful adventure movie and really shows how people can make the best of things. And at Disneyland, I'm really happy that they have reimagined the treehouse back to Swiss Family Robinson. And although it's not exactly like how the characters are in the movie, it still captures the spirit of it. So this is a great movie. Next up, we have The Shaggy Dog, another really funny, sweet movie with Fred MacMurray and Tommy Kirk and Annette Funicello, and it's just one of those madcap, silly movies that makes you laugh. Next, we have 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is a really, really cool movie because it's one of the first, I think, Disney movies that won a special award for the visual effects. And for the time, they really were remarkable. And this is a really interesting movie and more serious, but the performances from everyone, especially Kirk Douglas and James Mason especially, are really good. Next up, we have Darby O'Gill and the Little People. This movie is adorable, especially at this time of year. This is a good movie to watch around St. Patrick's Day because it's about leprechauns. And it has a really, really young Sean Connery in it, which is really fun to see. Next we have Johnny Tremaine. Now, honestly, I've only watched this once, so I don't remember it very well, but I think it is a really good movie. So I'm going to be rewatching it pretty soon. Next up is a very little-known movie called The Fighting Prince of Donegal. And this is another one. You can see, yeah, it's a Disney Movie Club exclusive. I've only watched this once, but it was a fun movie. Next up is Follow Me Boys. That is a heartfelt movie about Boy Scouts, and Fred MacMurray and Kurt Russell are in it. And it's really nice to see Kurt Russell and his acting chops even at a young age. It's a very sweet movie, and it'll probably make you cry if you're like me. Next up, my absolute favorite Disney movie, animated or otherwise, is Mary Poppins. And this is the 2-disc set 40th anniversary edition. Mary Poppins was the first movie I remember ever watching as a child. So, and it still remains one of my favorite movies ever, my favorite Disney movie. This edition is a really nice one. It has games and reunion with Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke, and Richard Sherman. And let's see. You can see in here all the special features. And it's just, it's a really nice edition. Next up, because it's my favorite Disney movie, of course, I have the Blu-ray of it. And it is an upgrade as far as the picture quality, and there are different special features on it. And I am just so happy to have this on Blu-ray as well, because like I said, it's my favorite Disney movie. Next we have The Love Bug. This is actually the only Herbie the Love Bug movie I own. Still my favorite, though. It's really, really funny. If you've never seen it, it has Dean Jones and Buddy Hackett. And Herbie has quite the personality, and it's just a really funny movie. Next, my last, as you say, classic, this is from the 70s, is The Muppets Take Manhattan. This is probably my favorite Muppet movie, and I only have 2 Muppet movies. The other one I'm going to share in another section different from my Disney releases, and you'll probably understand why if you're thinking about all the Muppet movies. But this one is still my favorite. It's the funniest, and I think it's adorable. Next up, we have some classic live-action Disney movies from the 90s. We have Shipwrecked. This was another Disney Movie Club exclusive. And I think it's a rare one to find, but if you can find it, I recommend checking it out because it is an amazing movie. Next we have Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken with Gabrielle Anwar and Cliff Robertson. This was a favorite when I was a little kid, and I still love it to death. It's a very sweet movie, very uplifting and heartfelt, about a girl who wants to be a diving girl. She mounts a running horse and dives into a tank of water. This takes place during the Depression, and it's just a really uplifting movie. Next up, probably my favorite of the 90s, The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is just such a fun, nostalgic film. I actually did an entire podcast with a close friend where we talked all about The Rocketeer and how amazing the movie is as far as the cast and the aesthetics and just everything about it. I love this movie. And because it's such a favorite, I have it on Blu-ray as well. It is the 20th anniversary edition. Now, the picture quality is definitely better. I was hoping there would be more special features on it. There are not, but it's enough as far as the film itself to warrant getting the Blu-ray of it. Next we have Newsies. Newsies is a really fun movie. I love the Broadway show as well, but the film is so fun, and it's especially fun to see Christian Bale dancing and singing. Next we have A Far Off Place. This is a little-known movie that I absolutely love. It stars Reese Witherspoon and Ethan Embry, and it's about two teenagers who have to escape across the Kalahari Desert in Africa for their lives. It's definitely a serious movie as far as Disney movies go, but it is really moving, and I recommend trying to find it. It's a little hard to find, but it's worth it. Next, we have Enchanted. I absolutely love Enchanted. It's definitely one of my favorite Disney live-action movies. I think Amy Adams is adorable, and James Marsden and Patrick Dempsey are great as well. I love the music. It's probably one of my favorite Alan Menken scores. And next we have The Princess Diaries 2. Funny enough, I don't have the original Princess Diaries on DVD, but I do have the sequel. I actually like the sequel better, probably because I like the romance in this movie a little bit better. And it's just such a sweet movie. Really, really nice for young girls. Next we have Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. This is still my favorite of all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think it is extraordinary filmmaking. Johnny Depp is amazing. So are Orlando Bloom, Jeffrey Rush, Keira Knightley, Jack Davenport. I just love this movie so much. I actually saw it 3 times in the movie theater. I'm very happy I have this 2-disc edition because it has amazing special features, audio commentaries, and whatnot. I just love this movie so much. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Probably my second favorite in the series. I think it's just such a fun, wonderful follow-up to The Curse of the Black Pearl. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean, Outworld, and of course, this is a great ending to the trilogy. Now, I don't have the other 2 Pirates of the Caribbean films on DVD. I do hope to get them someday, but for now, I'm happy that I at least have the trilogy. Next up, we have National Treasure. I love National Treasure. I probably watched this movie a lot compared to other Disney movies just because I just love the adventure aspect of it, and I love the cast, love that it's only rated PG. It's just such a fun way of integrating history and fantasy together, and I think it's such a fun movie. And so is the sequel, National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. I am still waiting to find out what's on page 47. If you're a National Treasure fan, you'll understand what I mean. I really hope that they make another one soon because I just love these movies. Next up we have The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think these are beautiful films. Now, I only have the first 2, as you'll see in a second. I'm not too sure about the new movie that's going to come out because I think these are wonderful versions of C.S. Lewis's stories. And I have Prince Caspian, which I love as well. If you're a Ben Barnes fan, you'll probably understand why I love this movie. He is a great Prince Caspian, and I don't have the 3rd one, but I do love that one as well. Next up, we have Bridge to Terabithia. This is one of my favorite books that I read as a child. It is a very serious, very sad movie, but really beautifully told. And now Disney did market this in an odd way, so if you don't know what it's about, you might get a little bit of a shock when you watch this, but if you know the book, you'll know what's coming. I actually saw a classmate perform a play of this, and he was the lead character that Jesse, that Josh Hutcherson plays in the film. And this is really well made and will definitely move you to tears, if you know what I mean, if you know the story. Next we have a Blu-ray of The Prince of Persia. This is a really underrated movie in my opinion. I think it's really fun. It has sort of like an Aladdin vibe mixed with like Indiana Jones, and Jake Gyllenhaal is really good in it. So is Ben Kingsley. And I think it's a really fun movie. Next we have a Blu-ray of Saving Mr. Banks, which is about the making of Mary Poppins. Now, since Mary Poppins is my favorite Disney movie, it's not surprising that I would love this movie. I think Tom Hanks does a good job as Walt Disney, and Emma Thompson is really good as P.L. Travers. Next up, we have a Blu-ray of Christopher Robin. I adore this movie. I think it is so, so sweet. It's one of those awe sort of movies. Very, very heartfelt. Ewan McGregor is wonderful in it. And the animation and voice work is just as sweet as can be. This is one of my favorite of the Disney live-action remakes. Though it's not technically a remake, they consider it one. So this is probably my second favorite of all of those films. Next we have my favorite Disney live-action remake. This is Cinderella with Lily James. This movie is basically the epitome of hard eyes, in my opinion. It is just glorious and glitzy and so beautiful, and exactly the type of remake they should make. Now, not all of them are as good as Cinderella. Next up, we have the live-action Beauty and the Beast. This is a movie, actually, I liked the first time I watched it, but I liked it even more the subsequent watches. I think it's actually really beautiful and well done, and I love the cast. And especially love Luke Evans, who plays Gaston. I think he is amazing in the part. But the entire movie is really, really beautiful. I still think the animated movie is superior, but I really do love this version. Next up, we have the live-action Aladdin, and this is maybe a little divisive, but I love Aladdin. I think everyone in it is really good. This is actually I think it's a steelbook of the Aladdin. I'm going to open up and look inside. So it's not a steelbook, but it is a special edition of it. So you can see it has really nice artwork. If you open it, it comes with this really nice booklet. It's a gallery book. So it talks about the making of the movie, and it's a really nice memento to have, especially if you are a fan of the film. Next, I have this box set. This is actually a box set of 3 Disney musical movies made for television. So it has Annie, which I must admit I have not watched, but I'm sure it's good, and Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, and The Music Man. So I'll take those out. And you'll see The Music Man is with Matthew Broderick and Kristen Chenoweth, and it is a wonderful version of the musical. I really, really love it. If you've never seen it, you should try to find it. Try to find the DVD, try to find it on YouTube, wherever you can find it. It is a great movie. And the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella is a really famous version of it with Brandy and Whitney Houston. And this is kind of the definitive version of the movie. I do love the one with Leslie Ann Warren as well, but this is the one I grew up with. And it's beautiful, has wonderful casting, and I love the music. This is one of my favorite plays as well. And even though I haven't seen it, I will show you the Annie. It does have a great cast. You can see Kathy Bates and Victor Garber are there. And I have seen the 1980s Annie, so I know I'll probably love this as well. And last up, I have a few Disney documentaries. I have Frank and Ollie, which is about the Disney classic animators Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston, and their remarkable friendship. They actually went to art school together and were hired by Disney together and ended up living next door to each other. And this is just a sweet movie about an extraordinary relationship between these two wonderful men. And this is The Boys, which is about Richard and Robert Sherman, the Sherman brothers, who did the music for the Jungle Book, Mary Poppins, many other Disney films, as well as Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And it's a serious documentary, but it is definitely worth checking out if you are a fan of their music. Then I have Chimpanzee. This is one of the Disney nature ones. This is about a chimpanzee cub that is adopted, and it's a really sweet movie, especially if you are an animal lover. And lastly, I have Waking Sleeping Beauty, which is about a tumultuous time for Disney animation right before the Disney Renaissance and through it as they went through many different struggles. And it's not sugar-coated, to say the least, but it's actually really refreshing and moving. And if you are a fan of the Disney Renaissance or Disney animation in general, I really think you need to see this movie, especially if you are a fan of Howard Ashman, Glen Keane, Don Hahn, any of those people. It's a really wonderful film. My next section is going to be my period films, literary films, that sort of thing. So first up we have Pride and Prejudice, the miniseries starring Colin Firth. This is the definitive version of Pride and Prejudice because it is I believe it's either 6 hours or 8 hours, I don't remember, but it is amazing. If you are a Jane Austen fan, you obviously need to see this version because it is amazing. I love it so much. And the definitive theatrical version, of course, is the 2005 version with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden. If I'm having to pick, I would give this one the slight edge because I just think the visuals are breathtaking and the music is really, really beautiful. Next we have another Jane Austen classic, Sense and Sensibility. I love this movie. It actually won Best Screenplay at the Oscars, and for good reason. It is a wonderful screenplay by Emma Thompson, who also stars in the movie. I kind of like Sense and Sensibility too because one of the characters is named Marianne and it's spelled the same way, so I like to say I am named after a Jane Austen heroine. Next we have Emma with Gwyneth Paltrow. This is actually the first Jane Austen, official Jane Austen period movie I ever saw in my life, and I loved it from the get-go. This is still one of my favorites of all the Jane Austen movies. It's my favorite Emma movie. I do love the miniseries as well, which I actually don't own, but this one is still my favorite. I think she does an amazing job as Emma. It's very, very sweet and beautiful. I love the score. It's very romantic and makes me laugh. Next we have Mansfield Park. This is probably the best version of this story. It's kind of a difficult one to film, though it does take liberties with the story. I think it is still a good film. And we have Northanger Abbey with Felicity Jones and J.J. Fields. This is kind of a little-known version, definitely a lesser-known of Jane Austen's work. I love the book. I think this is a really good version of the story, and it was a made-for-TV movie, but it's still really good. Next up, I have this special Jane Austen set with Sense and Sensibility and Persuasion. These were made-for-TV miniseries, but they are both wonderful versions of the stories. I'm not sure, actually, which Sense and Sensibility I like better, because this one is just as good as the one with Emma Thompson. But this is definitely my favorite version of Persuasion. Next we have Becoming Jane, which is about Jane Austen herself, and it's played by Anne Hathaway, and it's also with James McAvoy. This is kind of a sad movie, but really beautiful. It may not be the most accurate, but it's very romantic, and the score is absolutely extraordinary. If you are a fan of movie scores, you have to watch this movie because the composer, it's not even well known, his name's Adrian Johnson, but the score of this movie is glorious, and the film is really moving, and if you're a Jane Austen fan, you need to see this movie. Next up is Bride and Prejudice. This is a really fun Bollywood British version of the Pride and Prejudice story. It's very colorful and uplifting and fun. It is the same director as the movie Bend It Like Beckham. And it has Martin Henderson. If you're a Virgin River fan, you know who Martin Henderson is. And he is the Darcy in this movie. And he makes a great Mr. Darcy. And I don't know how to pronounce this girl's name. Ashira Rai, but she's a beautiful Indian actress. And she's a wonderful Lizzie. Next we have Clueless. This is a movie I was obsessed with when I was a teenager. This is actually the first Jane Austen anything I ever saw because of when it came out. I was the target audience for Clueless. This is which is funny, it's called the Whatever edition. It has really nice special features. This movie still holds up. It's hilarious. It's sweet. It still makes me laugh. And it's just an iconic 90s movie, but it's still iconic for any generation, I think. Next we have a Blu-ray of Austenland. This is a really funny movie. It's about a girl played by Kerry Russell who is obsessed with Jane Austen. And what's funny is J.J. Field, who played Mr. Tilney, my favorite Austen hero, plays in this movie as kind of a Darcy kind of figure, as I think kind of a wink to the audience. And Jennifer Coolidge is in it as well, and she is hilarious. This movie is just a fun movie. Next we have Lost in Austen. This is a really creative made-for-TV movie about a girl who gets transformed into Pride and Prejudice, and she starts living out the life of Lizzie in a way. And it's really fun, and I love the cast. Hugh Bonneville from Downton Abbey is in it. He plays Mr. Bennet. And it's just a fun kind of, it's almost like a fan fiction kind of Jane Austen movie, but it's funny, it's sweet, and if you ever imagine yourself in a Jane Austen movie, you'll enjoy it. Next we have the Jane Austen Book Club. This is another just sweet movie. It's about a group of women all dealing with different things who decide to form a Jane Austen book club, and it's all women except for one man, played by Hugh Dancy, and the cast in this is great. It has Kathy Baker, as you see, Maria Bello, Mark Lucas, Emily Blunt, Amy Brenneman, Hugh Dancy, Maggie Grace, Jimmy Smits, Kevin Zegers, and Lynn Redgrave. And it has some serious moments in it, but overall it's just a heartwarming, fun kind of movie. Next we have Titanic. This is a very special collector's edition of the movie on DVD. Actually, it's a 3-disc set because it has, like the VHS. Remember the VHS days? The movie's actually on 2 discs, and the 3rd disc is the special features. But I don't mind that because the amount of special features is remarkable. There are so many documentaries about the making of the movie. I still love this film. I think it's deserving of all of its 11 Academy Awards. Let's actually, I'm going to open it. Okay, I had to open it so you can see. Isn't that pretty? If you're a Titanic fan, you're going to like this. So you can see it has commentary by James Cameron and 45 minutes of deleted scenes. All these amazing documentaries, and I just love this movie so much. And not surprisingly, I wanted the film just on 1 disc, so I got the Blu-ray of it. I actually haven't watched it since I bought it. I bought it pretty recently, but I plan to watch it soon because this is just one of my all-time favorite movies. Next up, I have Jane Eyre, which if you watched my Blu-ray haul, you saw this was one of the movies I got in my Amazon haul. I love this film. I rewatched it. It is my favorite version of Jane Eyre, which is one of my favorite books. Next up, I have Amazing Grace. This is a really underrated movie. It is about William Wilberforce, who was one of the key men in helping end the slave trade in Britain. It has Ioan Griffith and Rama Ligari and Rufus Sewell, and it's a really touching, serious, but really beautiful movie, and it will probably make you cry, and I really recommend checking it out. Next we have Finding Neverland. This movie is glorious. It is the best picture of this year. It didn't win Best Picture, it was nominated, but in my opinion, I would have awarded this movie the Best Picture of 2004. I love Johnny Depp's performance. I love Kate Winslet in the movie. Dustin Hoffman is great. Little Freddie Highmore, who people know now as the Good Doctor, is extraordinary in this movie as a young child. This movie will definitely make you cry, but it's sad but also uplifting at the same moment, and it just touches me deeply. It's a beautiful film, and about the beauty of childhood and never forgetting the childlike qualities we should all possess, which also is in this movie, Miss Potter, which is about Beatrix Potter. It stars Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor. Another very underrated movie. It says right here, enchanting. That is the perfect way to describe this movie. It also is sad, but it is a lovely film. And Beatrix Potter was an amazing artist, and she did wonderful things for the country, including preserving nature for future generations. And this is Jane Eyre. This is, while I love the other version better, this is still a wonderful version of the movie. This stars Toby Stephens as Mr. Rochester. And if you don't know, Toby Stephens is actually the son of the late, great Maggie Smith. Next I have Little Women with Winona Ryder. This is my favorite version of Little Women. All the other versions are good as well, I do agree. This is actually the only one I own, but this one is still my favorite. I especially love Winona Ryder and Claire Danes and Christian Bale in this film. I think they all give really wonderful performances. Next up, I have Nicholas Nickleby. This is a Charles Dickens classic. I actually rewatched it recently, and I loved it even more than I remembered. It is another, it's sweet and sad and uplifting and lovely. And if you've never seen this, I recommend checking it out. It's interesting to see Charlie Hunnam, who more people know from Sons of Anarchy, which is the polar opposite of this film. But he is wonderful in this movie as the lead Nicholas. Next up I have North and South. This is a wonderful miniseries starring Richard Armitage. Now, I wasn't familiar with the story before I watched the movie, but I have since familiarized myself with it. And this is a serious but really, really wonderful period movie. Definitely a little gray and dreary, but if you're a fan of period movies, it definitely has romance to spare. Next up, I have two childhood favorites. The first is The Secret Garden. Now, I recommend everyone following me on Letterboxd. I became obsessed with Letterboxd earlier this year. And though I changed my 4 favorite films a little bit, I recently decided to put this one in my top 4 because it was one of my childhood obsessions. This movie sort of became my entire personality when I was a little kid. This movie is one of the most beautiful films ever made. This is my favorite book, and this is the best version of the book you will ever see. It is simply gorgeous. The little kids in this movie give wonderful performances, and Maggie Smith is in it, and it's one of my favorite performances of her. I just love this movie so much. I can't say enough good things about it. And then we also have A Little Princess, which if you are a millennial, you'll know why this movie is so special to me. It is the same author as The Secret Garden. Now this movie changes the book quite a bit, but in my opinion, actually, so this is a rarity, I think, for the better. I think it makes it a little bit happier. I think this is a beautiful movie. It's actually directed by the great Alfonso Cuarón, who directed Gravity and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It shows his talents as a director tenfold. It's a really lovely movie. And if you're a millennial like me, you'll understand why. Because it tells you that every girl is a princess no matter what. No matter what, if you're pretty or smart or ugly or plain, you are still a princess, because every girl has that right. That is a lovely sentiment to have. Next up I have Ever After with Drew Barrymore. This is one of the greatest Cinderella movies ever filmed. I love it so much. Drew Barrymore makes a wonderful, feisty Cinderella. Angelica Houston is the stepmother, and she is incredible in this movie. And Dougray Scott is the prince, and he is absolutely swoon-worthy. So besides the Disney animated version, this is probably the best Cinderella movie there is. Next up I have Much Ado About Nothing. This is a really wonderful version of the Shakespeare play. I don't know if there's actually another version, but I did see a live performance of this with Billy Campbell and Dana Delaney, and this version is wonderful too, with Kenneth Branagh, Michael Keaton, Emma Thompson, Denzel Washington, Keanu Reeves. It is absolutely wonderful. It makes Shakespeare really accessible, which can be hard for some people, but I think this is probably one of the best Shakespeare movies there is. But speaking of Shakespeare, we have Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Now, the 1960s version is good as well, but because I grew up in the 90s, I am partial to this one. It is obviously modern, but with traditional dialogue, and I just love this version because Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes have amazing chemistry, and Baz Luhrmann's direction is so cool, and I love the soundtracks. One of the first soundtracks I ever bought. Next I have Ella Enchanted. This is one of my favorite books. The movie is actually quite different, but I love the movie version of it. It's really sweet. Anne Hathaway is great. It's a great satire of fairy tales and the Cinderella story, and Hugh Dancy is great in it, as well as Minnie Driver. And last but not least is The Princess Bride. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. This is the 25th anniversary Blu-ray edition of this. I can't say anything about The Princess Bride that hasn't already been said. It's funny, it's romantic, it has everything you could possibly want in a movie. Carrie Elways, Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, Chris Sarandon, Billy Crystal. I mean, it's an amazing cast. It's so funny. And I love The Princess Bride. How many wonderful quotes can you say? It's endless. I think this is one of my all-time favorite movies because of all that, and I'm so happy that I now have the Blu-ray edition of that. Next up, I have sort of my fantasy adventure DVDs, starting with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I am a huge fan of the entire Harry Potter series. I definitely love the original. It's maybe my 4th or 5th favorite. I don't remember. I have to look at my ranking on Letterboxd. Again, follow me on Letterboxd. I will put my link to that in the description below. You can see my Harry Potter ranking because I recently rewatched all of them in quick succession. So I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, which I love, but it is my least favorite. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That is my favorite in the series, and I actually just watched it in the theater again, which was really exciting to see it on the big screen. Then we have The Goblet of Fire. This is one that's kind of hit or miss with people, but I love The Goblet of Fire. I think it's really good. Then we have The Order of the Phoenix. That is my second favorite in the series. I especially love the Department of Mysteries section and the fight with Dumbledore and Voldemort. Then we have Half-Blood Prince, and this one is neat because you can see it has special lenticular cover, which is cool. Then we have the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And that is another special one because you can see it has the lenticular cover, which is really cool. And like I said, I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter series. Love the books, love the films. I think they are remarkable. Next up, we have the Hunger Games 4-movie collection. This was one of the ones in my Amazon haul. I just watched this again, and I think these are amazing films. Next up, we have The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Now, I did not grow up reading The Lord of the Rings like a lot of people, so I wasn't familiar with it, but I became absolutely obsessed with these films when they came out. They came out at a very formative time in my life, and they became sort of one of my gateways into the making of films with all the special features these DVDs had, because, as you know, they have special editions of these. So I have just the theatrical version of The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. But I also have the special editions. So here's the special edition of The Fellowship of the Ring. And these have so many special features. They are really kind of the GOAT as far as special features on DVDs, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Open that up. And you could see it has so much beautiful artwork. Just by the amount of discs these have, you can tell that there is so much extra material about the making of these movies. They are really extraordinary in that regard. The films are wonderful on their own, but if you don't have these special editions, I recommend getting them, because if you're a fan of these movies, you want the special edition of all of them, including The Two Towers and The Return of the King. My favorite is actually The Fellowship of the Ring, but I love the entire series as a whole. I actually also have, this is about the score by Howard Shore and the Lord of the Rings Symphony. I actually don't recall how I got this DVD. I think it maybe came with the special edition of The Return of the King. But if you are a fan of the music, which is beautiful, you will probably enjoy this DVD. You know what? It might be hard to find, but you can always look for it on eBay, so I'm very happy that I have this. Next up, I have the Star Wars trilogy on DVD. This has the first 3 movies, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I also have other versions on DVD. What's special about having these is that disc 1 has the special edition of Star Wars, which is the ones with all the added scenes that George Lucas did in the 90s. And the second disc has the original theatrical version of the film. Those are hard to find these days. Every single version that's put out, either on streaming or disc, has the special edition. So these are actually very coveted in my DVD library. I also have The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and it is the same thing. Disc 1 has the theatrical version, and disc 2 has the original theatrical version. And honestly, I love both versions, so whichever one I watch, it really depends on my mood. I also have The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, which is my least favorite, but I still enjoy it, and Revenge of the Sith, which is the best of the prequels, in my humble opinion. I love the Star Wars films, including the prequels. The originals are my fave. And I like the sequel trilogy, but I do not own those quite yet. Next up, I have a few more box sets. This is the Indiana Jones complete, well, at the time, box set. It has the first 3 movies, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade, and the last disc is bonus material. My favorite, personally, is The Last Crusade, but I love all the movies. I'm not a fan of The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I did like Dial of Destiny. Next up, we have the Godfather DVD collection. This has all 3 Godfather movies, Godfather, Godfather Part 2, and some bonus materials. These movies are remarkable. If you are Italian like me, you'll probably enjoy them. But for anybody, it's an extraordinary piece of filmmaking. Next up, we have some more adventure movies, some fantasy, some realistic. We have Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. This is a little-known movie, but it is fantastic. It has Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Angelina Jolie. It is mostly computer-generated, but done in such a creative and amazing way that if you've never seen this movie, you really need to check it out. It is so nostalgic, so fun, and I really love it. Next, I have Flyboys, which is about World War II aviators, American aviators in France. And it is a lovely, beautiful film, quite moving. And if you like movies about World War I highly recommend it. Next, I have Troy. Now, honestly, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I recently got some DVDs from an estate sale from my sister-in-law's father. He had a whole bunch and let me pick out what I wanted, and I picked out this one. This is one actually I saw on my college campus when it came out, which was kind of a fun event, and I remember really enjoying it. Next, I have A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. This is just a fun sort of fairy tale epic night movie. I like that it takes the old-fashioned story with a modern soundtrack that makes it really fun. Heath Ledger, as I said, is in it, and Paul Bettany is really young in it, and he is hilarious. Next up, I have the King Arthur Director's Cut. This was actually a blind buy. I hadn't seen the movie before I bought it, but it is a great movie. It has Clive Owen, Keira Knightley, Ioan Gruffudd as King Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot. Next, I have Serenity, which is the movie that takes place after the TV show Firefly. I actually don't remember this very well, but I did enjoy the series, and I think this movie is a nice way to wrap up the series, which was canceled way too soon. Next, I have The Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. I do not have The Mummy Returns yet, but I hope to get that soon, and I hear that there's going to be another Mummy movie with these 2 actors, and I am all for it because I love this film. Next, I have Hidalgo with Viggo Mortensen. This is about it's a true story about a cowboy from a Wild West show who enters a horse race across the Arabian desert. It's exciting and thrilling and heartwarming and all those good qualities that I love in films. Viggo Mortensen is really wonderful in it. If you love Aragorn, he's good in this movie too. I highly recommend it. Next up, I have Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World with Russell Crowe. I am a big fan of movies about this era. I like movies about ships and captains like Horatio. I also love Horatio Hornblower. Russell Crowe is wonderful in this movie, as is Paul Bettany. This one is not an adventure movie, but the way I organize my movies, sometimes I put actors together, and this is another Russell Crowe movie that I own. It is Cinderella Man with him and Renee Zellweger. It's based on a true story of a boxer during the Great Depression. It is really wonderful. It's directed by Ron Howard. I love this movie. Next up is another one, not quite an adventure, but kind of. It's The Right with Anthony Hopkins and Colin O'Donoghue. It's a little bit like a modern Exorcist movie. I quite enjoy it. Next up is the original Jurassic Park. I'm happy to have this on Blu-ray. This is still the best of every single Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movie. I think many people would agree with me. The original is still the best by Steven Spielberg. Next up I have Apollo 13. This is nice because it's a Blu-ray, but it's a 4K edition. This movie is extraordinary. I've always loved movies about space exploration, especially of the early NASA days. And this movie is amazing because if you know anything about NASA, you know what happens during this mission. And yet, you're still on the edge of your seat. That is the sign of great filmmaking. And this is one of my favorite movies with Tom Hanks. It also has Kevin Bacon and Bill Paxton and Gary Sinise and Ed Harris. And it's probably Ron Howard's best movie, in my opinion. Next up, we have The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. This is one of my favorite thrillers and one of my favorite Harrison Ford movies. I rewatched it recently, and it's just as good as I remembered. If you don't know, it's based on a TV series of the same name, which is good. I've seen a few episodes, but I enjoy the film more. Next up is another Harrison Ford classic, Air Force One. This was in my Blu-ray haul. I love this movie. It is nail-biting, as the review says right there. Edge of your seat entertainment. It is wonderful. Gary Oldman is also in it, and he is a really sinister villain in this film. Next up, we have Nonstop with Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson has definitely carved out a niche of action movies for himself. This is one of my favorite ones. It is about an air marshal on an airplane who receives a message that someone is going to kill a passenger every 30 minutes unless he is wired money, and he has to figure out who is the culprit. It's a really amazing movie. It also has Julianne Moore in it, and it's an exciting movie. I really love it. Next up, we have the Mission Impossible 6 movie collection. So this has the first 6 movies in it. It has the original, which is still one of my favorites, all the way through Mission Impossible Fallout. I am a huge fan of this series. It's probably one of my favorite action series of all time. It's one of those rare series that it keeps getting better and better as it goes along. And I have the latest run. This was also in my Blu-ray haul. As I said, it still says Dead Reckoning Part 1, even though the last one, which comes out soon, is going to be called Final Reckoning, and I'm so excited. I'm going to rewatch all these before that movie comes out. Next up, I have the Back to the Future trilogy, the 30th anniversary on Blu-ray. This is a really great edition. It has lots of great special features. You can see each one has the disc in there, and it tells you all the features. Back to the Future 2 is probably my least favorite, but when you watch them all together, it is essential viewing. You can see that fell out. The first one's my favorite, then number 3. But they are all good, and it's really cool to watch them all together. It helps the story flow even better, in my opinion. And these are just great, fun movies. There's a reason why Back to the Future is called the perfect script. The next section I have is pretty large. It is comprised of my romantic movies, primarily romantic comedies, but also some dramas in there. Starting off with While You Were Sleeping. This is my favorite Sandra Bullock movie. It is absolutely delightful, so funny, so quotable. It's also one of my favorite Christmas movies, even though I do not have it in my Christmas movie section. It's in my romantic section. So next up is another Sandra Bullock favorite, 2 Weeks Notice with Hugh Grant. This is probably one of her most underrated movies, but I think it's so funny. Next we have, not quite primarily romantic, but I organize my movies in a specific way, so I put all of my Sandra Bullock movies together. Miss Congeniality, besides While You Were Sleeping, is my favorite movie with Sandra Bullock. This movie is hilarious. Another one that's so quotable. Probably my favorite from the year it came out, along with one other movie you'll see very shortly. But this one is just fantastic and so fun. Next up is The Lake House. Now this is a drama, but it reunites Keanu Reeves with Sandra Bullock. It is a romantic fantasy about people who communicate through a magic mailbox, of all things. Now, that may sound really silly, but in context, the movie is quite lovely, and I really love it. Next up, we have Hope Floats, which is one that was actually probably marketed more as a comedy, but it's actually much more serious. And it is about a woman who goes back to her hometown after her husband leaves her for another woman who's actually her best friend, so she has to pick up the pieces. She goes with a young daughter and reconnects with a childhood friend, played by Harry Connick Jr., who, if you watch my Blu-ray haul, you'll know I am a huge fan of his. He's one of my celebrity crushes. I love him so much, and this movie really started my love of Harry Connick Jr. Next up is another movie that stars Harry Connick and Renee Zellweger. It's called New in Town. Very sweet movie, a lot like a Hallmark movie. If you watched my Blu-ray haul, I said that this is about a big city woman who goes to the small town and learns about herself and what makes this town click. She goes to a factory which she wants to help with their efficiency and ends up, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a really sweet movie and I really recommend it. Next up we have another one with Renee Zellweger, Leatherheads, which also has George Clooney and John Krasinski. This is about the beginnings of football, and it's kind of a madcap romantic comedy and really, really fun and zany, and it is a lot like a classic movie with the dialogue, and that's why I love it. Another movie with Renee Zellweger, Down with Love, and another movie that is sort of takes an homage from classic movies. This one pays homage to classic 60s comedies that star people like Doris Day and Rock Hudson. In this case, it's Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor. The plot is actually very similar to two movies, Sex and the Single Girl with Natalie Wood and Tony Curtis, and Pillow Talk with Doris Day and Rock Hudson. This movie is so fun, so colorful, really hilarious, and if you love the movies of the 60s, you'll love this movie and be laughing nonstop. Next up, I have some Nora Ephron movies. I have Sleepless in Seattle with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. This is such a sweet movie. It's a romantic comedy, but it's also a drama because there are definitely some serious aspects to it. And I love the little boy that plays Tom Hanks' son. Next up is You've Got Mail, another Nora Ephron classic. This is my all-time favorite romantic comedy. It is actually a remake of The Shop Around a Corner with Jimmy Stewart and Margaret Sullivan. As much as I love that movie, I do love this one more. I grew up with it. It's funnier. It's sweeter. It's like a time capsule for the 1990s and email. And the dialogue by Nora Ephron is perfection. I just love this movie more than I can say. Next up is another Nora Ephron movie. This is Bewitched with Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell. I think this movie is adorable. I think Nicole Kidman is so cute in it. It's very underrated. It's actually very much maligned, but I think this movie is really cute. Next up is another one with Meg Ryan. This is French Kiss with Kevin Kline. This movie is hilarious if you've never seen it. Especially Kevin Kline because he's playing a French man and she's very uptight. She is robbed when she gets to Paris and he helps her, and I don't want to spoil the plot, but it is hilarious. Another movie with Meg Ryan, the classic When Harry Met Sally. I'm very happy to have this on Blu-ray. It's the 30th anniversary edition. And this is just a classic rom-com in every way. I love it so much. And another one with Meg Ryan. This one, a lot of people don't know. It's called IQ. It has Tim Robbins and Walter Matthau. Tim Robbins plays an auto mechanic who falls in love with Meg Ryan's character at first sight. And she is actually the niece of Albert Einstein, played by Walter Matthau. This movie is only rated PG, so it's really sweet and heartwarming and hilarious, and there are a group of scientists that are best friends with Walter Matthau, and they are probably the funniest part of the movie. If you've never seen this movie, you need to see it, especially if you love romantic comedies. Another one with Meg Ryan, it is Kate and Leopold. I love this movie. This was my introduction to Hugh Jackman, who is so perfect in this movie as this Duke who time travels to the future and meets Meg Ryan's character, and the two fall in love. And if you love rom-coms, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't love this movie, because it has everything you could possibly want. You can see this box looks a little different. This is actually one of the first DVDs I ever bought. And I actually bought it slightly used from Blockbuster, of all places. That is a fun little tidbit. Next up, I have 13 Going on 30, another of my favorite romantic comedies with Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo. This is another one that is just absolutely adorable and makes me laugh. Another one with Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon. This is very underrated. It's called Just Like Heaven. It's about a woman who gets into an accident, and then her ghost, or is it her spirit? I don't want to spoil it. Shows up in Mark Ruffalo's apartment, and they have to figure out what's going on. It's really, really sweet and makes me cry. Another one with Reese Witherspoon, Sweet Home Alabama. This movie is so cute. This is another one that I actually bought at Blockbuster, slightly used. I bought that and Kate and Leopold on the same day. And although this isn't my favorite, I still love it, and I think it's really cute. But the Reese Witherspoon classic, Legally Blonde, besides Just Like Heaven, is probably my favorite with her. This is just iconic. Now, it's not strictly a rom-com, but it's more like a girl power kind of movie. But I love it. Next up, we have the Nancy Meyers classic, The Holiday. This is my second favorite rom-com of all time, one of my favorite Christmas movies. It is just perfection in every way. I love the cast. I love the concept. I, too, want to travel to England like Cameron Diaz and stay in a little country cottage. Hopefully, Jude Law comes along with it. And I also have Something's Gotta Give with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton. This is my second favorite Nancy Meyers movie. And it's just a really great movie for a slightly older cast. You know, they can find love, too. Rom-coms don't have to just be about young people. Next up, I have Love Actually, another favorite rom-com and another favorite Christmas movie. Not much to say that hasn't already been said. The cast is superb in this movie. And even though, you know, some of it maybe hasn't aged the best, I still love this movie. Next up is Bridget Jones's Diary. Now, this is the only one in the Bridget Jones series that I actually own. But it's still my favorite. I haven't seen the new one yet, but I still have an idea that this one will probably still be my favorite one. Next up is, besides Miss Congeniality, this is my favorite movie from the year 2000. It is Return to Me with Minnie Driver and David Duchovny. It is directed by Bonnie Hunt, and she also stars as Minnie Driver's best friend. It also has Jim Belushi and Carol O'Connor, Robert Loggia. It's just one of those movies where, in many ways, with Minnie Driver's character and her family, I feel like I see myself on screen. It's funny, but it's also dramatic. So it's kind of those romantic comedy drama combos. It is about a woman who has a heart transplant and then meets and falls in love with this man. And I'm not going to spoil the twist in the movie because that would ruin it for you if you've never seen it. But if you have, you know why. It's such a special little movie. Next up, I have Only You. This is another really underrated rom-com from the 90s. It has Marissa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr., both so young. Yes, before they were Iron Man and Aunt May in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they were in this rom-com together. Marissa Tomei plays a teacher who, as a child, gets the name of what she thinks is her soulmate on a Ouija board. And she gets a phone call from him, and he says he's in Italy. And that's when she meets Robert Downey Jr. There are some twists in the movie, and it also has Bonnie Hunt. That's why I had it next to Return to Me. This movie is hilarious and so romantic, and if you've never seen it, you have to see it, because it has beautiful Italian landscape. It's so romantic, and the two of them have really great chemistry. Next up, I have The Age of Adeline. This is just a very serene, lovely film. And it is about a woman who stops aging after a lightning strike, and she has to keep moving, but eventually she falls in love with a man. And I don't want to spoil the movie for you if you haven't watched it, but it has a very calming effect when I watch this movie, and it's very moving and romantic. Next up I have Winter's Tale. This is a very romantic, kind of odd movie. It's like a fairy tale fantasy, kind of biblical. It definitely is a strange one, but for some reason I just really love it. It has Colin Farrell, Jessica Brown Findlay from Downton Abbey, and Russell Crowe. Next up is Aloha. Now this is kind of a divisive movie, and I understand why, but I personally love this movie. It has Bradley Cooper, Emma Stone, Rachel McAdams, Bill Murray, John Krasinski, Alec Baldwin. I mean, the cast is wonderful. It has the beautiful Hawaiian landscapes as a sweet story. I really love it. Next up, one of my favorite all-time movies, P.S. I Love You, with Hilary Swank and Gerard Butler. This is my second favorite movie with Gerard Butler, and this is just one of those romantic comedy dramas. The combo of the two genres play to perfection. It's beautiful. It makes you cry. It makes you laugh. It also has, my favorite, Harry Connick Jr. in it as well. And it's just a sweet, touching movie and about sort of a love story in reverse and a movie about grief. And I really love it. Next up, another one with Gerard Butler. This one is Playing for Keeps. It's definitely an underrated movie. It also has Jessica Biel, Uma Thurman, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Dennis Quaid. Gerard Butler plays a former tennis pro who wants to reconnect with his ex-wife and his son. And it's a really sweet movie. I really love it. Next up, Crazy Stupid Love, one of my favorite rom-coms. I love the chemistry with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. And Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling have a really great dynamic in this movie. There's so much going on. It's a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. It's a movie about, second chances, first love, all that sort of thing. And I really love it. Then, one of the sweetest movies you could find. This is Letters to Juliet with Amanda Seyfried. Another one that takes place in Italy, so I really love it. It has beautiful Italian landscapes, and Amanda Seyfried is absolutely beautiful in this movie. It's very sweet. It's another one that's only rated PG, so it's very easy to watch. Just a lovely little rom-com. And then we have Crazy Rich Asians. This is one of my favorite rom-coms of recent years. I definitely like it because it definitely shows that rom-coms can be about people of any race, and that's nice, Sometimes movies are only about, certain people, but this is both inclusive and universal. That's what I love about it. I love the cast. I love Henry Golding. I love, I'm forgetting her name. I apologize, but she's wonderful. She's from Fresh Off the Boat. Constance Wu, that's her name. She is wonderful in this movie, so beautiful and funny, and it is about, family pressures, but I love that her character stands up for herself, and it's a wonderful movie. Next is a little movie that a lot of people don't know. It's called Penelope. It has Christina Ricci and James McAvoy. It is a romantic, modern sort of fairy tale fantasy. Christina Ricci is a girl who is cursed to have the nose of a pig, actually. So she's trying to find someone who will love her as she is. And it also has James McAvoy and Catherine O'Hara, Reese Witherspoon. It is the sweetest little movie, and I highly recommend checking it out. Next up is The Prince and Me with Julia Stiles. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites from this year. It was a favorite when I was in college, so I rewatched it over and over again. Next is Elizabethtown. This is kind of an underrated movie in my opinion. A lot of people kind of don't like it, but I think this is a beautiful, lovely movie. I think Orlando Bloom is wonderful in it, as is Kirsten Dunst. It's a Cameron Crowe film, and definitely has that Cameron Crowe feel, but I love this movie. Another one with Kirsten Dunst. It is Wimbledon, also starring Paul Bettany. This movie is so funny and pretty sexy, and in a subtle way, and really funny. And it is really a really great rom-com if you've never seen it. It's about two tennis stars who fall in love during Wimbledon. Next up, Leap Year with Amy Adams and Matthew Good. Besides Enchanted, this is my favorite movie with Amy Adams. It is adorable. It has beautiful Irish landscape because she goes to Ireland to propose to her boyfriend, but ends up meeting Matthew Good, and you can guess the rest. But it is such a sweet movie, and I really love it. Another movie with Amy Adams. This one is called Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. It also has Lee Pace, who a lot of people know from Pushing Daisies, or the MCU, or the Hobbit movies. It also has Frances McDormand, who plays Miss Pettigrew. This movie is another one that is just absolutely adorable. I would call it kind of like a pink champagne kind of a movie. It's fuzzy and light and sweet and glittery, and I just love it so much. Next up is The Time Traveler's Wife. Rachel McAdams definitely has a lot of time travel movies, and this is probably my favorite one. It is the most romantic for sure, and it's the most serious, probably the most sad, but I really love this movie. Eric Bana is in it. I have not seen the TV series because I think the movie probably did a better job. Next up is Where the Heart Is. This has Natalie Portman and Ashley Judd. This is a heartwarming movie, and it is about a girl who is pregnant, and her boyfriend abandons her when she's at a Walmart. So she ends up living in the Walmart and gives birth. But it is a beautiful movie. Very, very serious, though. This movie was sort of marketed as kind of a rom-com. And while there are funny parts, this movie is very serious and has lots of sad and serious moments, especially with regards to Ashley Judd's character. But don't let that deter you from watching it. It is really lovely and uplifting in the end. Next up, kind of the polar opposite, because this one is hilarious. This is Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore and David Arquette. Now, a lot of people think this movie hasn't aged that well, and I guess in some ways it hasn't. But I'm still nostalgic for it. I think it's really cute, and Drew Barrymore is just adorable in it. Next up is Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. This is another really underrated rom-com. It has Kate Bosworth, Topher Grace, and Josh Duhamel. It is about a girl who wins a date with Tad Hamilton, who is her favorite movie star. And he takes a shine to her and ends up going to her hometown to sort of romance her. But much to the chagrin of her best friend, who is also in love with her. This is such a funny movie. Really, as it says, yeah, charming. That's the perfect way to describe this movie. Charming and sweet. It also stars Jennifer Goodwin. Nathan Lane is in it. Gary Cole, Sean Hayes. It has a great cast. And it is pretty hilarious, actually. And has some of the best lines in any rom-com I've ever watched. Next up is The Devil Wears Prada. Not so much a rom-com, just a comedy. But it definitely goes in this section. This is another movie that I was kind of obsessed with in college. I watched it over and over again. So much so that actually this disc actually wore out and I need to get a new version of it. But I wanted to share it with you because it is one I will still have in my collection very soon. Next up I have Confessions of a Shopaholic. This has Isla Fisher and Hugh Dancy. This is just a cute little movie about a girl who gets a job at a finance magazine, even though she is a shopaholic. So she has to pretend she knows what she's doing as far as finance. But it's funny and cute, and I really enjoy it. Very colorful. Definitely not very realistic in terms of journalism. But if you can suspend disbelief, it's a really cute movie. Next up we have one of my favorite and one of the most underrated. I keep saying that, but a lot of my favorite rom-coms are underrated. It's called One Fine Day. It has Michelle Pfeiffer and George Clooney. Probably my favorite movie with both actors. It is about two very stressed single parents who their children miss their field trip, so then they have to figure out what to do with their kids on very hectic work days. And it's very romantic. The two of them have incredible chemistry. If you've never seen this movie, you need to see it because the two of them are at the top of their game. It's only PG, but it's still, you know, because it's George Clooney, it's still very sexy. So I love it so much. And it has a great soundtrack. Another wonderful, really subtly sexy movie, really funny movie is Laws of Attraction with Pierce Brosnan and Julianne Moore. This really takes inspiration from old Katharine Hepburn, Spencer Tracy movies. They are two dueling lawyers who accidentally, on a drunken night, end up married to each other. This is another one that has some pretty locales. They go to Ireland at one point in the movie. It's so funny. It's so sweet. It also has Parker Posey and Michael Sheen in absolutely hilarious roles. They are so funny and almost steal the movie. Next up, we have Morning Glory. I absolutely adore this movie. It has Rachel McAdams, Harrison Ford, Patrick Wilson, Diane Keaton, and Rachel McAdams plays a girl who takes over a morning show that is failing in the ratings. So she gets Harrison Ford to come out of sort of retirement to come on the show with Diane Keaton. And he's grumpy, and she's the exact opposite. She's just a go-getter, and she falls in love with Patrick Wilson's character. And I just love this movie. This movie actually has a really funny scene. It's a funny story where one of the people on the morning show does all these outlandish things, including going on a roller coaster he was not prepared for. And it is a movie that scene makes my father laugh to no end. So this movie kind of holds a special place in my heart for that reason, because it just makes him practically bust a gut laughing. It's really funny. Next up, we have Serendipity. This is such a sweet movie. It has John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. It's, if you are someone who believes in destiny or serendipity, you will enjoy this movie. These two people, they meet and they think if they, I don't even know how to describe it. But she believes in destiny. He doesn't so much, but oh, you just have to watch it because it's just such a sweet movie. It's about, you know, are the people you meet and fall in love with instantly meant to be, or is someone else you meet meant to be? I don't know. I'm not describing it very well, but I love that movie. Next up, we have It Could Happen to You, another underrated movie. It has Nicolas Cage and Bridget Fonda. It's actually based on a real story about a cop who gives a waitress a lottery ticket. He promised to split his lottery winnings in lieu of a tip. And lo and behold, he actually wins. So because he's such a good guy, he goes and makes good on the deal and splits his lottery winnings with this waitress, much to the chagrin of his wife. But it's a sweet movie, and I really love it. Next, we have My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Now, I actually don't love this movie as much as other people, but I do really enjoy it. I think it's really cute, and I love the chemistry between the two leads. John Corbett's really adorable, and it is a cute movie. Next up is The Wedding Date with Deborah Messing and Dermot Mulroney. He likes to make movies about weddings, as you'll see in just a moment. This movie's another one that is sexy, but in a subtle way, and I love the chemistry between these two. It's another one that has some really great dialogue and lines about what it means to fall in love, and it also has Amy Adams and Jack Davenport, and it is one of my favorites. Now, it actually takes place mostly in England, so it has some beautiful English countryside in it. Next up, yes, is My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts, and yes, Dermot Mulroney. Cameron Diaz and Rupert Everett. This is one of my favorite rom-coms. It is one I remember going to see in the movie theater and people laughing so much at. It is still probably my favorite movie with Julia Roberts. I really adore this movie. Next up, we have Runaway, I don't say, not saying that very well, Runaway Bride. This was the reunion of Julia Roberts and Richard Gere. I actually am not a big fan of Pretty Woman, but I do love Runaway Bride. I think it is adorable. And this one, you know, is kind of the opposite of Pretty Woman. It's only PG. It's really cute and wholesome, and I love it. Next up, another wedding movie. This is 27 Dresses with Katherine Heigl. It also has James Marsden. This is just a sweet movie. I love Katherine Heigl's character because she is very relatable, because she does everything for everyone else except herself. And she's just waiting for the right person to come along who will do something for her for a change. And it has a scene that, if you've seen this movie, it is one of the worst things I've ever seen in a romantic comedy involving a wedding dress, and it made me so angry. But if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But this is a really sweet movie, and I love the chemistry between Katherine Heigl and James Marsden. Next, we have my favorite movie with Adam Sandler. It is Drew Barrymore in his first movie together, The Wedding Singer. This movie is so funny. It's really hilarious. I love all the 80s nostalgia in it. And it's Adam Sandler's sweetest movie. And that's why I think it's his best, because it still has that Adam Sandler feel, but it's toned down quite a bit. Next up, we have, yet again, another underrated movie. This is called Blast from the Past. It has Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone, Christopher Walken, and Sissy Spacek. And Brendan Fraser is their son, and he is born actually in a fallout shelter. They believed that there was a nuclear war when there actually wasn't, and he goes up and meets Alicia Silverstone's character. So it sounds really strange, but it's actually hilarious and really sweet and funny. And it's probably my favorite movie with Brendan Fraser, if I'm being honest, even more than The Mummy. Next up, I have Failure to Launch with Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica Parker. This is just a really cute movie, really cute rom-com. Sarah Jessica Parker, it plays someone who helps people, particularly men, leave the nest. Basically, Matthew McConaughey still lives with his mother and father, and his parents want him to move out. So she plays someone who will help him do that. And of course, they fall in love, as you would expect in a rom-com. It says a bright and breezy romantic comedy. That's a perfect way to describe it. Next up, another one with Matthew McConaughey, and this one with Kate Hudson. This is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and this is one of the quintessential 2000s romantic comedies. I think this one is so funny, so fresh and entertaining, and I'm taking my words from the DVD cover itself, and because it's true. This movie is hilarious and really iconic. Next up, another one with Kate Hudson. This is Raising Helen. It also has John Corbett and Joan Cusack, and this is a movie about a girl named Helen, played by Kate Hudson. She becomes the guardian of her sister's children, and even though she is really young and doesn't have children herself, unlike her sister, played by Joan Cusack, who does have children. But it's a really sweet movie, and it will make you cry too, but if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's actually a Gary Marshall movie, so it definitely has that Gary Marshall feel. Next up, another one with Kate Hudson. This one I bet you most people haven't heard of. It's called Alex and Emma. It has Luke Wilson in it. This is a Rob Reiner movie, and it's sort of a story within a story sort of movie. Luke Wilson is a writer, she is a typist, and the story that he's writing plays out in the movie, and they inhabit the characters, and it's really cute. Next up, we have the John Hughes classic Pretty in Pink. This is probably my favorite Brat Pack movie. It has Molly Ringwald and John Cryer and Andrew McCarthy. And yeah, it's definitely more serious. It's, you know, it's funny, but it's also serious. And Jane Spader plays the ultimate creep in this movie, and to perfection. He always seems to play characters like that because he does it so well. And even though I love The Breakfast Club too, I think this one is still my favorite John Hughes movie. Next up, I have No Reservations with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Aaron Eckhart. This is another one about a woman who takes custody of her sister's child, and Aaron Eckhart plays someone who takes over her job briefly, but the two of them fall in love. And if you love food, you will enjoy this movie because it's about two chefs and the beauty of cooking, the beauty of food, and it's only rated PG, so it's very wholesome, and I really like it. Next up, another one with Aaron Eckhart. This is called Love Happens. It also has Jennifer Aniston. This is about a motivational speaker who falls in love with a florist, and it's another one. It's a more serious movie, but really, really touching, and I quite enjoy it. Next up, we have Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is one of the most creative and unique movies ever made. It stars Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, Kirsten Dunst, Mark Ruffalo, and Elijah Wood. It also has Tom Wilkinson as well. And if you've never seen it, Jim Carrey's character finds out that his ex-girlfriend, played by Kate Winslet, had her memory of him erased. So he decides to do the same thing, but in the middle is regretting that and doesn't want to lose his memory of her. So it's sort of it's a really offbeat love story and quirky comedy. Has some serious moments, but it's so creative. And I believe it won an Oscar for screenplay, and deservedly so. I really love it. Next up, we have the classic Moonstruck with Cher and Nicolas Cage. I haven't seen Moonstruck in quite a long time, but any fellow Italian loves this movie like I do, and will always, anytime they see Cher, say snap out of it, because that is Cher's iconic line from this movie, and this movie is great. Next up, I have another movie with Gerard Butler. This also has Emily Mortimer. It's called Dear Frankie. It's one of his earliest movies. It's about a single mother who doesn't want her son to have any contact with her estranged ex, so hires this man to be the father, essentially, for a few days. And the young son is deaf, and it has some definitely has some serious moments in it, but it is sweet-natured and has great performances, and it's really touching. Next up is one of my favorites. This is The Notebook, the Nicholas Sparks story, with Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, James Garner, and Jenna Rollins. Of all the Nicholas Sparks movies, this one is my absolute favorite. It's one of my absolute favorite romances. It is so beautiful in every way. The young story, the old story, everything about it I love. It makes me cry to no end at the very end, for a good reason if you've seen it. It is romantic. It's beautifully filmed. The acting is impeccable. I can't say enough good things about The Notebook. I love this movie so much. But another Nicholas Sparks movie I love is A Walk to Remember. This is my second favorite, and it's definitely a tearjerker if you've seen it before. It has Shane Weston, Mandy Moore. It is actually based on Nicholas Sparks' sister who had leukemia. It is, like I said, it will make you cry, but it's so lovely and romantic and beautiful and spiritual, and has really beautiful lessons in it. Next up this is actually a Hallmark movie, a Hallmark Hall of Fame movie. It's called Remember Sunday. It has Alexis Bledel and Zachary Levi. It's a little bit like 51st Dates, the Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler movie, because he suffers from short-term memory loss. And she has to figure out how to have a relationship with him when he suffers from that. So it's like that movie, but it's much more serious, but really lovely. Next up, I have a 2-movie collection of 3 Men and a Baby and 3 Men and a Little Lady. And these are 2 of my favorite comfort movies. I've watched them so much. They are so sweet, so adorable, so funny. I really want them to make a 3rd movie, like 3 Men and a Bride or 3 Men and a Grandchild, something like that, because these 3 actors are great. And the first one's great with the baby, the second one's great with the little girl. Nancy Travis also is in it, and she has great chemistry with Tom Selleck's character. I just love these movies so much. Next up, I have 3 Woody Allen movies. I have Midnight in Paris, which is my favorite movie from Woody Allen. I just love that it's set in Paris. I love the cast, especially Owen Wilson. And Adrian Brody is funny in it. Rachel McAdams is great. Michael Sheen. I just love this movie so much. It's so creative. Tom Hiddleston plays... Who does he play? My mind's gone completely blank. He plays a writer. And Corey Stoll plays Ernest Hemingway. F. Scott Fitzgerald. That's who he plays. I just love this movie so much. It's so well written. And Owen Wilson is just so charming in it. And then I have Magic in the Moonlight. This is probably my 2nd favorite Woody Allen movie. It's very underrated. It has Emma Stone and Colin Firth. And Colin Firth plays a magician. Takes place during the 20s. And he's trying to prove that Emma Stone is not a medium like she says she is. And this is just really cute. And I love the music. I love the costumes. It's really light and fun. And I highly recommend checking it out because a lot of people don't know this movie. And lastly, we have Scoop with Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson. This is one of the movies that Woody actually stars in. And it's really funny. It has some mystery to it, some romance, lots of clever dialogue, some fun twists in it. It takes place in England. I really love this movie. In this next section, I have a few more romances and a few other kinds of movies. I didn't know exactly how to categorize them. Some dramas, some adventures, kind of a mishmash of things. And I am actually filming on a different day because this video is coming out a little long because I have so many movies. But anyway, this next one is Australia with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman. I've actually only watched this once, but I remember really enjoying it. I think it's interesting that there is now a television show of this available with all the extended and deleted scenes. I actually want to check that out because I did enjoy this movie. Next I have Tristan and Isolde. I've only watched this a few times as well, but I did enjoy it. I do like period romances like this, and this one was really romantic. Next up I have Splash with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is actually my favorite actor, so I have a lot of movies with him. This is a really sweet movie about a mermaid. There's a fun fact that because this was a Touchstone movie, Splash Mountain actually got its name from this movie, even though the two have nothing to do with each other. But this is a really cute movie. If you haven't seen it, it has Daryl Hannah, Eugene Levy, and John Candy, and I think it's really cute. Next up, I have That Thing You Do. This is an all-time favorite movie. I think it is adorable and so cute and fun. I love the cast, especially. I love Liv Tyler and Tom Everett Scott and Steve Zahn, who play in the movie. But Jonathan Schaech and Ethan Embry are great in it as well. I think Tom Hanks took inspiration from the Beatles movie A Hard Day's Night for this one. And you can definitely see the influence. The music from this is absolutely amazing, and I love this movie. Next up, I have another That Thing You Do DVD, but this one has an extended cut of the movie. I do prefer the original cut, but this one is really fun to have to see all those extra scenes, which were really fun. Next up is another Tom Hanks movie directed by Steven Spielberg. It's called The Terminal. This is a really sweet movie about a man who gets stuck in the airport because his country, I don't even know how to describe it. His country like no longer exists almost. So his papers aren't legal anymore. So he has to find a way how to leave the airport. It's very sweet and touching and a really interesting concept for a movie. Next up is Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but this is actually my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. And probably, besides Titanic, my favorite movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. I love movies where he can showcase his charm and humor and charisma. Most of the movies he does are very, very serious. So I like this one because it is light and fun. It still has dramatic moments, but I love seeing that side of him in films. And it's even more cool because this is based on a real story of a man who's a con man and pretends to be a pilot, a banker, a lawyer, and Tom Hanks is really great in this as well as the FBI agent. Next up is Center Stage. If you are a millennial, you will know this movie. And this was a big movie. I remember loving, not a big movie, but a big movie for me because I just absolutely fell in love with it in high school. And it's become one of my comfort watches. I watch it a lot. I love the soundtrack, love the cast. It's great to see Zoe Saldana in that. She has basically looked the same since this movie. And she's a really talented dancer, and everyone else in the movie is good as well. Next up is a really sweet movie. It's called August Rush with Freddie Highmore, Kerry Russell, and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. It also has Terrence Howard and Robin Williams. It is sort of like a romantic Oliver Twist sort of movie. He is an orphan, but his parents are still around. They just didn't know he was still alive, actually. And it's such a sweet movie. Lots of music. And the ending will probably make you cry if you have a soft touch like me. Next up is a very little-known movie called The Dust Storm with Colin O'Donoghue from Once Upon a Time. He plays a musician who meets with an ex-girlfriend unexpectedly. And it's very dramatic, but again, it has great music. It's nice to see Colin able to showcase his musical talents in this movie. Next, we have another musical movie, Walk the Line. This is actually an extended cut. I actually haven't watched this since I bought it, but I love Walk the Line. It's about Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash and their relationship and Johnny Cash's life. It's a really interesting movie. Joaquin Phoenix does an amazing job as Johnny Cash. Reese Witherspoon is good as too, but if I'm picking who has the standout performance, I would say Joaquin has that. Next up is Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. This is a really underrated movie. Believe it or not, I enjoy this Dirty Dancing movie more than the original one. I think it's sweeter. I enjoy the music so much. It's about a girl in the 1950s who, before Castro's takeover of Cuba, goes down there with her family and enters a dance contest with a young boy who works at the hotel they're staying at. It's really, really fun. Definitely has some drama in it because of the time period, but it's sexy and sweet, and I really love it. Next up is The Lovely. This is actually another DVD I picked up from that estate sale that my sister-in-law's father found a bunch of movies and let me pick out some. So I actually haven't watched this, but I heard really good things about it, and I love Kevin Kline and Ashley Judd, so I look forward to watching this. Next up is another one I got from that estate sale. This is the movie Once. This is just one of those sweet little movies. I think it's Irish. I only saw the movie once, but that's funny. But it has lovely music, especially the Oscar-winning song Falling Slowly. Next up is, yeah, a bit of a mishmash of movies. This is the Ocean's 11 trilogy with Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13. I absolutely love these movies. I love fun caper movies. And the cast of these movies is pretty much unmatched. They are at the top of their game, like Pete Handsome for George Clooney and Brad Pitt, and Andy Garcia. Julia Roberts is beautiful in them. Matt Damon is great. Don Cheadle is great. Bernie Mac. Al Pacino in the third one. These movies are so much fun. A lot of people don't like Ocean's 12, but I actually think it's really fun, especially when Julia Roberts pretends to be Julia Roberts. I think that's hilarious. My favorite is still the original, but I love all three of them. Next up is Doc Hollywood. This is a really underrated movie with Michael J. Fox. I actually haven't seen it in a really long time, but it is really funny. Next is Be Kind, Rewind. This is another really underrated movie. It's about two guys who work in a video store who accidentally erase every single videotape. So they decide to refilm them themselves. And it is as hilarious as you would expect. They refilm Jaws and Ghostbusters and a bunch of other movies. And it's the same director as Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And it ends up being really, really sweet at the end. Next up is Guarding Tess with Shirley MacLaine and Nicolas Cage. She is a former First Lady, and he is the Secret Service agent that protects her. And he wants a better job, but she doesn't want him to leave. And it ends up being quite serious. It's funny at the beginning. It ends up being kind of serious at the end, but they have really good rapport, and I really enjoy this movie. Next is Baby Mama with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. This movie is just really cute. Tina Fey wants a baby, so she decides to ask Amy Poehler to be a surrogate. And because these two are such good friends in real life and they play off each other so well, like they did on SNL, this movie ends up being really, really funny. Next is Mean Girls, which is just an iconic high school movie. Even if I'm not in high school anymore, I still enjoy this movie to death because it is so hilarious and the cast is fantastic. Everyone is great and really showcasing their comedic chops, especially Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Lacey Chabert, and Amanda Seyfried. Next up is Billy Elliot. This is another one I got from that estate sale. And actually, it's another one that I haven't watched yet, but I have heard very good things about it. It seems like such a sweet concept for a movie, and I know Jamie Bell is a fantastic actor. Next up, again, another one I got from that estate sale. It's called The Great Debaters, and I have not seen this one either, but I love Denzel Washington. He is one of the greatest actors of all time. This movie, it seems to be about a debate team, and I actually don't know the concept beyond that, but Denzel Washington is good in everything, and he's actually has the same birthday as me, so I have that special kinship with him, but I can't wait to watch this one too. Next up is The Shawshank Redemption. This is just one of the greatest movies of all time. There's a reason why it is considered one of the best. I think on IMDb it is ranked as the top movie of all time. It is amazing, amazing acting, uplifting story. Sometimes hard to watch, but I think it's just remarkable. Next up, I have a few spiritual movies. Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, and Claire and Francis, about St. Clare and St. Francis of Assisi. Now, I have not yet watched these two movies, but I look forward to watching them soon. The last two I got from that estate sale are Ladies in Lavender. This is just a sweet, calm, lovely little movie with Judi Dench and Maggie Smith about these two older ladies who sort of, I don't want to say adopt, they don't adopt him, but they look after this young violinist, and I haven't seen it in a really long time, but I remember it's very, very sweet. And then my last one that I picked up at that estate sale is Lincoln. This is just, as it says, it's a masterpiece. Daniel Day-Lewis absolutely transforms into Abraham Lincoln. It is incredible. Next up, I have Memphis Belle. I saw this once, but I remember it is really good, and I need to watch this again because I love period movies, especially about the war, and this has some really amazing actors in it. And then, speaking of war, this is about the Civil War. It's called Glory. It has Matthew Broderick, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. Denzel Washington won an Academy Award for this movie, and it's because he is amazing in it. Next up, I have some sports movies. First, I have Bend It Like Beckham. And this is, yes, it's about a girl who wants to play soccer. But it's also just about friendship and learning to stand up for your dreams against, pressures from a family. It's adorable. It's so funny. I really love this movie. Then we have A League of Their Own. This is probably my favorite sports movie, my favorite baseball movie for sure. It is such a sweet, heartwarming, inspirational movie about the women's baseball league during World War II. The performances are impeccable. This is one of Tom Hanks' best performances, most underrated performances for sure. I love Gina Davis in it. And this is probably the best performance by Madonna as well. This, it's about, as they say in New Girl, they argue about what this movie is about. Is it about baseball? Is it about World War II? Is it about sisterhood? It's about all those things, and that's what makes the movie so great. Then we have The Sandlot. This is a childhood favorite. It is so cute, really funny, so quotable. My brother and I still quote this movie to this day. We always say, "You're killing me, Smalls," when something's going on. Or we talk about, can we have some more? But I haven't had any yet. This movie's so funny, and I love it. Then we have Rudy, which, being a big Notre Dame fan and Sean Astin fan, this movie is pretty much perfect in my eyes. I love this movie. It's so inspiring about this young man who is small in stature, but he makes his dream of becoming a football player for the University of Notre Dame a reality. And it's just so moving. Between the final scenes of this movie will probably make everyone cry. Then we have Seabiscuit. This is another movie I've only seen once, but I remember it was really, really lovely. I thought the performances were really wonderful, and I can't wait to watch this again. And then lastly, I have The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. Now, I know it's come out recently about the discrepancies between reality and what happens in this movie. But if we just take the movie as a movie, it still remains really, really sweet-natured and heartfelt. And Sandra Bullock is beautiful in it. She gives a really great performance in this movie, and I really love it. Next up, I have some family movies, some coming-of-age movies, a bit of a mishmash again of stuff. First up, I have Hugo. This is just a beautiful movie. If you haven't seen it, it is a Martin Scorsese movie. I honestly wish he would make more movies like this. It's about this little orphan that lives in the train station in Paris. It is about the history and beauty of cinema. It is just, as it says right here, it is a masterpiece. Scorsese can do anything, clearly, and I wish he would make more movies like this. Next up, I have The Wizard. This is a lesser-known movie from the 80s about, it's deemed the Nintendo movie by millennials and Gen Xers, and it's with Fred Savage and Jenny Lewis, and Luke Edwards plays Fred Savage's younger brother. And Beau Bridges is their father. And it's a little boy named Jimmy. He's traumatized and doesn't talk very much, but he is a wizard at video games, they discover. And they run away and want to enter a video game contest and Universal Studios. So it's like a kid's road trip movie, and it's an adventure. It's a sweet family movie. I really love it. There are discrepancies with the video game accuracy, but I don't really care. It's another one of my comfort movies. And I was so happy to find this Blu-ray edition of it from the Shout Factory because it has special features on it, including an audio commentary with the director, and other making of the movie documentaries. And for it's a small movie, so that's really kind of amazing that it has that on it. I'm going to take off the cover so you can see. This is what the movie poster looks like. So it's just a fun cover, and I really love this movie. Next is The Goonies. This is an 80s classic. It is forever going to be in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. It is a movie I can probably quote the entire thing. It's written, produced by Steven Spielberg, directed by Richard Donner, written by Chris Columbus. The cast is so great. Sean Astin, Corey Feldman, Ke Huy Quan, Josh Brolin, Cary Green, Martha Plimpton, Jeff Cohen, Anne Ramsey. All these kids are amazing. This movie is so fun and adventurous, and I hear that they're going to make a sequel, and if it can be as good as this one, I am all for it. Next up, I have The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This movie is so sweet and lovely, and as a girly girl, I call myself the girly nerd. This is another one of my comfort movies, a movie I love because I have a wonderful group of girlfriends like the girls in this movie. And it's so sweet and touching. And I like that it shows the girls being mature, but also learning to grow up. And it's just so sweet and lovely. And some of the stories will make you cry for sure. And I also have the sequel, which is just as good. I love both movies. Again, they're comfort movies. They were big when I was in college, and I just love these movies. Oh, and I also have a DVD of The Wizard as well. I got this before the Shout Factory one. I'm glad to have 2 copies because sometimes a Blu-ray player is not available. Next up, I have Nanny McPhee. This movie's adorable. Yes, it's a little bit like Mary Poppins with a nanny who shows these kids how to behave and a father how to reconnect with his children. It's really colorful and zany. I love the music. Emma Thompson is great as Nanny McPhee, and Colin Firth is really good in it too. Next I have Secondhand Lions. This is such a sweet movie. I know I use that word a lot, but it has Haley Joel Osment in it, and he gives a really good performance. And I love Robert Duvall and Michael Caine in this movie. In this movie, Michael Caine's character, kind of like Burl Ives in Summer Magic, reminds me a little bit of my grandfather. So that's an added bonus when I watch this movie. It's just a really, really nice coming-of-age movie. Next up I have, this is a bit of a random one, The Adventures of Milo and Otis. I love this when I was little. I actually got this so I can show it to my niece and nephew because they love animals. And I love that they use real animals, just no CGI. It's just pure, and it's just one person's narration. It's Dudley Moore, and it's really funny and cute. And if you have kids who love animals, I recommend checking this out. Next I have Akilah and the Bee, another sweet movie about a little girl who, defying her mother is wanting to be in a spelling bee, of all things. And her mother's played by Angela Bassett. The girl is Keke Palmer. She was so talented, even as a young kid. And her spelling tutor is Lawrence Fishburne. This movie's wonderful. I love it. It's inspiring. It's wonderful to see little kids enjoying learning, and instead of, her defiance is wanting to be in a spelling bee, as I said, which is so refreshing and sweet. Next up I have Return to Oz. This is definitely a movie for 80s kids because like a lot of movies of the 80s, it might slightly traumatize you. There is lots of disturbing imagery in this, but, you know, I guess I was a pretty tough kid because for some reason I loved it. Leave a comment if you remember all the traumatizing images in this movie, like the Wheelers or Ozma with all her cabinets of heads. Next up, I have another Wizard of Oz movie of sorts. This is Tin Man. This was a made-for-TV miniseries with Zooey Deschanel, Alan Cumming, Neil McDonough, and Richard Dreyfuss. And this is a really cool reimagining of the story. Really, it's sort of like a steampunk sort of version of the story. I really like it. I love most interpretations of the Oz story. I think it's cool to do different takes on it, and I'm a big fan of Zooey Deschanel, so I really love this. Next up is Alice. This is a modern, again, sort of steampunky adaptation of Alice in Wonderland with Katerina Scorsoni, Tim Curry, Kathy Bates, and, oh, I can't remember his name, but he plays the Mad Hatter, and he's her love interest, and I love this one, too. It's from the same people that did Tin Man. Next up is Alice in Wonderland. This is from the early 80s. This was a TV movie miniseries with a huge cast of people. And if you are an 80s kid, you will know what this is. If you're not, you may not be familiar with it. But I watched it on the Disney Channel ad nauseum. And I picked this up again because I wanted to show my niece and nephew. It's almost seems like kind of a fever dream because of all the costumes and everything. And the Jabberwocky's pretty scary, but I still love it. Next, I have some Tim Burton movies. Here we have my favorite Tim Burton movie, Sleepy Hollow, with Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. I'm not a big horror person. I don't really like horror movies that much, but this is my jam. I love the atmosphere in this movie. Johnny Depp is really good in it. He makes a great Ichabod Crane because he makes Ichabod funny and quirky and charming. Christina Ricci's beautiful in this. And this is the kind of scary movie I love. Next up I have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Pretty divisive movie because people love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I love that one as well. It's funny enough, I do like that one better, but I actually don't own it. But I do like this one. I love how offbeat and weird it is. Next up I have Edward Scissorhands. This movie is just so enchanting. Johnny Depp, again, is wonderful in the title part. I love Winona Ryder in it. It's whimsical. It's sort of heartbreaking, but it's just so well done. I love this movie. And next up, I have a 4-movie collection. I bought this even though I already had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I got this so I could have Corpse Bride, Beetlejuice, and especially Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which was Tim Burton's first movie. I actually got this right after Paul Reubens passed away in honor of him because he is so amazing in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's such a fun, whimsical, kind of darkly funny movie. I love the music, and Corpse Bride is great too. I'm not as huge a fan of Beetlejuice as other people are, but I do enjoy it. The next section is going to go through all of my superhero comic book movies. So first up, I have Superman Returns. This is the only Superman movie I own. And while I love the original with Christopher Reeve, this is the Superman movie that I've seen the most. And again, it's one of those Superman movies tend to be divisive, but I really love this one. I love the tone, the atmosphere. I think Brandon Routh is a wonderful Superman. And I love the production design, the music. I just really enjoy this movie. Next up, I have Wonder Woman. The DC universe has been kind of hit or miss for me, but I Really love Wonder Woman. I like that it's a period movie, and I think Gal Gadot is good in the part, and I really love Chris Pine as well. Next up I have Shazam, and this is probably the only other DC movie that I really enjoyed. I think this one's really funny. I love the concept. You can see this cover is really cool too. It has the lenticular cover. I'm not really a comic book reader, so I wasn't familiar with this story, and it's really interesting how he turns from a young teenager, to an adult man, but it's still a teenager at heart. So it's kind of like 13 going on 30 a little bit in superhero form. And everyone in the movie's really good. Next up I have the Fantastic Four movie from 2005. Funny enough, I don't own, and I don't even think I've seen the sequel, but I'm one of the few that really love this movie. I love the cast. I think it was just really fun. I like superhero movies when they're light and breezy and fun, and I think everyone in this movie does a good job. I am excited to see the new Fantastic Four movie, but I am a fan of this one. Next up I have Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movie. It has the original Spider-Man and a bonus disc of special features. So this was the first superhero movie I remember seeing and really falling in love with. So this was like my gateway movie to Marvel and comic book movies. I think Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man, even though the other two, Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield, are good in the part, especially Tom Holland. Tobey Maguire is still always going to be my Spider-Man because he was the first one I fell in love with. And I really love Sam Raimi's movies. His Spider-Man movies are still my favorite. Especially Spider-Man 2. This is my favorite Spider-Man movie. It is so perfect. Kirsten Dunst is really good in this one. She is good in the first one as well, but I like her in this one. And I love Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. William Dafoe is amazing as the Green Goblin as well, I should mention. But this is my favorite Spider-Man movie. It's exciting. It's romantic. I really love it. And I have Spider-Man 3. Now, a lot of people don't like this one, but while it's my least favorite of the three, I still actually really love this movie. I like that the darkest Peter Parker was just a little bit of a narcissistic jerk that actually kind of shows what a pure heart he has, and I like that about the movie. Next up I have Captain America: The First Avenger. This, for the longest time, was my favorite movie in the MCU. I absolutely love that it is a period film, and it has a lot of vibes similar to The Rocketeer, and that's probably because it is the same director, Joe Johnston. I think Chris Evans is amazing. I love Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter. Tommy Lee Jones is great. Sebastian Stan is great. This movie is just perfection, in my opinion. Next up I have Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I don't own that many of the Marvel movies on Blu-ray, but I have the first two Captain America movies because he is my favorite character. And this movie is astounding. It like the first Avenger. There's not much I can say, except I think it's pretty darn near perfect. I love Scarlett Johansson in this movie, Samuel L. Jackson. It's exciting. I like that it's a spy thriller and a superhero movie. Next up I have Agent Carter. Now, I am planning on doing a separate movie just showcasing my television DVDs separate from this movie collection. But I keep all my Marvel stuff together, so I thought I might as well show you that I have Season 1 of Agent Carter, as well as Season 2. This is, of all the Marvel movies Marvel shows that I've watched, this is still my favorite. Peggy Carter is one of my favorite characters. She's feisty, she's strong, but she's also vulnerable. I love period. I love anything, period. So I think this show is incredible. It really got the short end of a stick. I recently rewatched it, and I loved it even more. I love James Darcy as Jarvis. I love Dominic Cooper as Howard Stark, who, if you don't know anything about Howard Hughes, he's basically like a takeoff of Howard Hughes, and it's amazing. I love both seasons. I think I love season 1 a little bit more than season 2, but both seasons are incredible. Next up, I have a Blu-ray 3-pack of the first 3 Avengers movies. So I'm going to take them out. What's interesting is, because this is a region-free Blu-ray and not from the United States, it's actually called Avengers Assemble, which I found really funny, which most Marvel people know. They tease this line for a long time, and in America, it's just called The Avengers. So it's really funny that and when I'm watching it, it says Avengers Assemble on the title card. I found that really, really funny. But then it also has Avengers Age of Ultron, probably my least favorite Avengers movie, but I think it's still a lot of fun. I love the introduction of Wanda and her brother, and Avengers Infinity War, which is my second favorite Avengers movie. It's really great. It's like The Empire Strikes Back, as most people have said, of the Marvel films. It's incredible that all these characters share this space, and yet you don't feel cheated about any storyline. The same can be said for Avengers Endgame, which, besides Captain America, the First Avenger, is still my favorite Marvel movie. It's spectacular in every way. It's exciting, nail-biting, makes me cry, makes me laugh. It's everything you'd want in a superhero movie. I love Avengers Endgame, and it's probably going to be hard to top this ever again. The next batch of movies are basically murder mysteries, other kinds of mysteries, period, spooky movies. It's a lot of movies I love to watch during the Halloween season. So first up we have Clue. This movie is hilarious. It's very much a cult classic, and it's a takeoff of the board game, but it's so funny. And what's cool about this movie is it has multiple endings, which makes it just kind of like the board game itself, and the cast is amazing. I heard they actually might remake this movie, but this one's already perfect in my opinion. Next up is Murder by Death, another hilarious classic movie, classic murder mystery. The funny thing about this movie is that it doesn't make any sense, and that's what makes it so funny. And it's not supposed to make sense. So it's very much a satire of murder mysteries. The cast is impeccable. Peter Falk, Maggie Smith, Alec Guinness, James Coco, David Niven, Peter Sellers, even Truman Capote. It's so funny and really makes me laugh. Next up we have Gosford Park. This is another one that I bought at Blockbuster. You can see previewed, $9.99. But it's a good movie, and especially if you like period mysteries. This is very much was kind of a practice for Julian Fellows for Downton Abbey. Even though Downton Abbey isn't a murder mystery per se, it's very much an upstairs downstairs situation in this movie and in Downton Abbey. And Downton Abbey is better, but this is a good movie. So if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it for the first time, I do recommend watching it with the closed caption on to pick up all the dialogue, because they do talk over each other a lot, just to give kind of a certain kind of atmosphere, but it will make it easier to follow. Next up is Nancy Drew with Emma Roberts. This movie is so cute. I'm pretty critical, actually, of Nancy Drew adaptations, because I love the books, and I always think Nancy Drew stories should be set in the time that they were written. This is not, but it works because she really loves old-fashioned things and has that kind of attitude. So it works in that regard. Next up we have Knives Out. I actually blind bought this because I love murder mysteries, and I thought, with this cast, you know, how can you go wrong? And I was correct. This movie is incredible. The cast is sensational. Daniel Craig is amazing as Benoit Blanc, and I love everyone in this movie. They are at the top of their game. This movie's funny, but also obviously very serious because it is about a murder. But it has such an amazing premise. If you've never seen it, you like mysteries, you need to see this movie. I love Chris Evans playing an absolute jerk in this movie. Ana de Armas is great. Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson is really good in it. Toni Collette is hilarious as this really flighty person. Lakeith Stanfield is great. Christopher Plummer, of course, you know, he's an amazing actor, and he plays the patriarch of this family. I love this movie so much. It has great atmosphere. It's a great movie to watch in the fall. Then we have Murder on the Orient Express. This is the first Hercule Poirot movie that Kenneth Branagh made, and it's still the best one, in my opinion. I do love Death on the Nile and A Haunting in Venice as well. This is the only one I own, and this one is still the best, in my opinion. It has an amazing cast. You can see Kenneth Branagh, of course, Penelope Cruz, Willem Dafoe, Judi Dench, Johnny Depp, Josh Gad, Leslie Odom Jr., Michelle Pfeiffer, Daisy Ridley. I love seeing all these actors in a period film. It's very, very cool. And this movie has beautiful direction, beautiful coloring, music, direction. It's moving. It has a great twist. I just love this movie so much. Next, I have a 2-movie collection of Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows. I love the Sherlock Holmes stories. This is one of my favorite adaptations because I think Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law are amazing in the parts. I love Guy Ritchie's direction. It's very different. It's, you know, it's less prim and proper and more gritty because Robert Downey Jr. brings his own unique flair to the part, and I love Jude Law as Dr. Watson, meeting him beat for beat. These movies are fantastic. It has that Guy Ritchie flair with really stylistic direction and slow motion. The music is also fantastic by Hans Zimmer. Next up, I have a really amazing, creepy movie. It's called What Lies Beneath with Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford. If you've never seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically Michelle Pfeiffer thinks she is being haunted in this house, that she's an empty nester, and ever since her daughter has left, she feels like there's a ghost in the house, and Harrison Ford plays her husband, and he starts to doubt her sanity, and a lot more happens, but it has great atmosphere. It's actually a Robert Zemeckis movie. It's one of his best movies. Next, we have The Talented Mr. Ripley. This movie is one of my favorite thriller movies. It's like beautiful and spooky. The cast is amazing. Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Cate Blanchett. Everyone does such an amazing job. Matt Damon is so good at being so creepy. Jude Law he's beautiful and handsome in this movie, but he plays such a jerk. But he's also charming. Gwyneth Paltrow's beautiful and so vulnerable and sweet in this movie, and it's one of those movies I return to again and again because it's really chilling, and I love it. Next up, I have a 3-movie collection of the Conjuring films. So it has The Conjuring 2, and The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. All 3 movies are fantastic. It's really interesting that these are based on real events. That makes them even more chilling. Obviously, I think it's probably slightly sensationalized in Hollywood versions of what really happened, but I still think they're amazing movies. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are fantastic in these parts. I love their chemistry on screen so much. My favorite is actually The Conjuring 2 that takes place in England. It just has so many amazing moments, and they are really scary, but not too scary because I'm kind of a scaredy cat sometimes, and I can watch them and not get too creeped out. But it is like the quieter moments in these movies that I really appreciate, especially in the second movie when Patrick Wilson sings or talks to the little girl about being scared, and there's a moment at the end that I don't want to spoil, but it was really, really touching. Next up I have The Illusionist. This is one of two similar movies that came out around the same time. You're going to see the other one in a second. I think I slightly prefer this movie because it's more romantic. I love Edward Norton in it. It's probably my favorite movie with him. Paul Giamatti is such a great actor. I love him in this part. And Jessica Biel is just radiant. It's just the atmosphere and cinematography in this movie is so beautiful. And it really gives it that spooky atmosphere. And I really adore this movie. But next up is kind of its twin movie, The Prestige, about rival magicians. This is one of Christopher Nolan's best films, in my opinion. I love the performances from Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. They are at the top of their game. And this movie is just so trippy because it has such an amazing ending, and I'm not going to spoil it. And it's one of those movies, even after you've seen it, you still somehow feel surprised, even though you know what's coming. It's just, it's haunting, and I love the atmosphere in this movie. Next up I have The Forgotten with Julianne Moore. It's a very underrated movie. Very out there. It's about a woman who one day she wakes up and no one remembers her son, even including her husband, who's been missing for a while. And it's like and she finds out another parent who has forgotten their child, so they are the forgotten children, and she's literally the only one who remembers, so she's trying to find out what's going on. And it goes in a direction you will probably not expect, and it's actually quite moving. Next up we have The Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson. It also has Peter Sarsgaard, Jenna Rollins, and I believe it's John Hurt is his name. This is just a really kind of spooky, creepy movie. It takes place in New Orleans. It's about a caregiver. Kate Hudson is caring for a man who had a stroke. He can't speak. And pretty soon, she's realizing there is something really sinister going on. And I really love this movie. Next up, I have The Village. The M. Night Shyamalan classic, in my opinion. It's probably my favorite of his movies that I've watched. Yes, I like it even more than The Sixth Sense because I just think the atmosphere in this movie is incredible. And I think the performances are really beautiful and moving. Bryce Dallas Howard is so lovely and amazing in this movie. She plays a girl who is blind, and Joaquin Phoenix and William Hurt are also really good. And even when you know what happens at the end, I still love watching it. You know, sometimes they say once you know the twist, you can't go back to it. But this is a movie I actually watch every autumn. Next up, I have one of my favorite spooky, scary movies. It's called The Others with Nicole Kidman. This is another one that it's so, like it says, it's so suspenseful, and it has a really amazing twist that you might be able to guess, but maybe not completely. And I love that it's, again, I love period films, so I love this one. This is one of Nicole Kidman's best performances. It's really chilling and haunting. And lastly, I have The Woman in Black. This is actually a movie I just discovered on streaming one day, and it was actually Halloween. I wanted to watch a movie I'd never seen before, and I found this. I'm like, wow, Daniel Radcliffe's in it. Let's see how it is. It's probably my favorite, besides The Others, my favorite spooky ghost movie. Again, it has beautiful period atmosphere. It's spooky, but not too scary. Has a few jump scares in it, but it's quite sad, but I actually like the ending, even though it's, without spoiling it, it's a little bit sad, but I think it's really an incredible movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend checking it out.